I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. So the business informed me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
And welcome to RetroforceGO. Alright, quiet, let me do it. Disruptoid's #1 retro podcast. This is your host, Chad Vampire Dolphin Concelmo. Joining me this week are Topher Troll Blood Cantler.
King DDD.
Colette Chocobo Brains Bennett.
I can't talk, God.
Stella Spider Legs Wong. And our special guest from beyond the grave, Kevin Craine.
I'll be naked once my child goes to sleep.
Goodness. All right, enough of my stupid, horrendously terrible Dracula impression.
See, I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was kind of amazing, actually.
One dolphin, two dolphins,
I don't know how I'm gonna do this show without laughing the whole time.
That's
well,
fine.
that's what we do, so it's okay.
That gives us confidence when people laugh at us, because then we don't think we're just being funny like amongst ourselves like we always do.
Yeah, it's because like even if the listeners don't like us at all, we can still listen to the show ourselves and be like, haha, we're funny. I said something funny.
I agree.
That's what I did on the first show I was on.
So before we get started, I have to say this really quickly, just because I forgot to say this last week and I feel bad. But this last weekend it was Dyson's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Dyson!
Yay! Happy birthday, Dyson. It fell on a Saturday, so it was like between podcasts. So we technically haven't missed it, I guess. But I just wanted to say happy birthday. I know he's listening, and you're the best. And that's it. Woo.
You're awesome.
And we wouldn't be here without you.
Yes, and we love you.
Yes. We love you and your old self.
We love you in the butt.
We love you all over. We love you all over. And just so people know, Kevin Craine, who is our special guest this week, he is the amazing genius that put together the Mega Man and Pit costumes for his children. If you were an avid reader of Destructoid, you definitely have seen these because there's been tons of blogs about him, and he was also featured on the front page of Popular Mechanics. And I think you're getting interviewed for EGM. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I got a good story for that too.
Oh, awesome!
So Cranium is pretty much the most famous person here. So we are definitely privileged to have him on. And of course, we timed it perfectly because we're so smart with scheduling. Because today, obviously, tomorrow's Halloween, but you're listening to this on Halloween. So we figured it would be the perfect show to have him on. So thank you so much for joining us, Kevin.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No problem. And he'll be around with us the whole show because we're not letting him. We're not unlocking his chains until we're done recording.
Why?
Can you
don't-
unlock my chains?
no,
I really have to pee.
I have Topher chained up in my house like that movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Christina Ricci. Like he's tied to a radiator with with like a ripped shirt, like showing his
What?
belly,
Oh my.
like cut off jean shorts.
Chad comes by and like puts a plate of pizza on the floor, like just out of my reach, and then I spit at him.
Like Scott in the Goonies with the baby Ruth. Baby.
Ruth.
Wow.
Oh man. All right, we got to get started because this is a jam-packed show, so we've got to get going. So we'll start with, of course, the new segment, Retro Amazing News. Retro Amazing News. This week there's not that much to talk about. Of course, the big news is that Cranium's here, which we're so excited about, Kevin. But we'll get to his part in a second. But I also want to mention a couple things if people didn't read the site. Last week someone did this amazing. Do you guys see this bento box art?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty much the
I wanna
greatest thing
see it.
ever. Like Dyson found this Flickr account of this person who does bento box art of all these like old like retro games. Well, Kirby especially and Yoshi and Katamari. But I figured I'd just mention it because Kirby was on there and that's our show this week. So if you want to go check it out, go to Art Attack Friday and look at it because it's pretty awesome. I just wanted to give them a shout out.
Delicious too.
It actually looks so good. I like looked at my screen.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring this up too to get your guys' opinion, but just today there was like the announcement that the Wii just passed the N64 and the GameCube in sales. I think with 33 million, and then the N64 I think had 32 million. And now it's officially the 5th most popular console of all time, and it's less than 2 years old, which is crazy. And I'm wondering if you guys feel that it's going to eventually pass the original Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. And if it does, how do you feel about that? It kind of makes me sad, which is weird.
Yeah,
No, I don't think it's weird at all. I don't think that's weird at all. Because, I mean, I feel like, you know, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, and the Nintendo 64 were all, they were all consoles that made a major mark on our gaming history, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess the Wii will too, but I have so much less respect for the Wii that I almost feel like it doesn't belong there. And I really know that I'm going to get flamed for that, but it's just the way I really feel, you know?
No, I know what
So
you mean.
I gotta say it.
Yeah, I love my Wii and like I have fun with it and I have no really real complaints, but I kind of feel the same way. It's kind of like the original Nintendo and the Super Nintendo especially were such like iconic like consoles in our like especially for us. And to
Yeah.
see them kind of like not be the highest selling again, it's kind of depressing, you know, because it's just like you kind of want those to always be on top to think that there was a time when everyone owned a Nintendo and it never will be topped, and it's just kind of a bummer that it might go away, but I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like my nostalgia slipping away and that makes me sad. But whatever.
I hate
Well,
the Wii.
it happens.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I'm with Topher. I do not
love the
like
Wii.
it. No, I do, really, and I'm sure that he and I probably have very similar reasons for
Probably
it, but
so.
yeah,
Yeah.
just can't get behind that, man. But you know what?
Yep.
That's okay because the DS honestly is still like probably I mean, I honestly feel like I could say it's like my favorite system even though it's portable.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so
And
I
that's selling
can
better than the Wii, so that's good.
yeah, I can weigh my excitement and happiness on the side of the DS and be positive about that.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's for the Nintendo fanboys that are yelling at us saying that we hate their manufacturer or whatever, because I love my DS to pieces.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
It's like the greatest thing
It's
ever.
my favorite thing.
All right, well, we might as well just go into the. I really want to get to Kevin's segment because I'm so interested in asking about his amazing costumes. Because I'm kind of a little jealous that he didn't make a adult size one that I could have stolen. But we'll get to that in a second. But first, we will get to the Virtual Console reviews. And God, another terrible timing week. I mean, if this had been any other week, we could have done an entire show in this game. But like, this is like another
Aw.
best week ever for the Virtual Console. This is completely unexpected. Like, there's so much going on with stuff, and they just kind of slipped out of nowhere. But this week on the Virtual Console is Earthworm Jim for the Genesis.
Oh,
I know.
So good.
Wow,
The
that is so
original
good.
Earthworm. It's so good because this is one of those games like. It's like you don't. I mean, of course, people still own it on their Genesis, but you don't really see it everywhere. Like you know how like when like I don't know like Super Mario RPG came out, like you still kind of see that places and like I don't know. I just feel like Earthworm Jim is kind of hard to get maybe so it's just kind of neat to see it on the Virtual Console.
That's because everybody still has it because it's an awesome game and nobody
It
else
is an
got
awesome
rid of
game.
it.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty much
is
the
a
greatest
very
game ever.
awesome game.
And
played
playing
it
it again, I was like, this game is even better than I remember it. Like, the animation is like so beautiful, and the humor is funny. And like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but at the very beginning of the game, you like jump on a teeter-totter and like shoot a cow into the air.
Yeah, with the
And it
refrigerator.
makes no sense, but at the very end of the game, it like lands on the final boss and like kills her. It's the coolest thing ever. I was like, that is like the greatest humor. I was like, this game is so great. So I'm not even gonna go into it because I have a feeling that we're gonna have an Earthworm Jim show eventually.
Yeah, we need to do
Yeah.
that. I love
Yeah, I
it.
That'd be
agree.
awesome.
I know, I agree, and I'm kind of bummed that it came out this week because I feel like I wish we could dedicate a whole show to it. But we'll put it on the back burner, and I won't talk about it anymore about it. We'll save that for later. But of course, this is the best week ever. It's 800 points well spent. Buy it. 5 out of 5 Dolphins. Confetti. It's the best game ever.
Rip Taylor.
Yeah. So that's it. So let's just go to Topher for Xbox Live Arcade.
I don't want to.
Topher, you never wanted. Come
Topher,
on.
there was something really good this week.
Yeah, the new episode 2 of Penny Arcade on the rain-slicked precipice of darkness.
Yeah.
Colette, have you played it yet? 'Cause
I
know
am
you were-
rocking all over it. I'm like 4 hours into it right now, and it's
Yeah, you need to go
super
download
good.
that one, especially if you downloaded the first one.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it,
just good.
Like, is it just like the first one? Like, does it have the same like viewpoint and stuff, or?
Yeah, it's got like the era and the mythos and all that, but it's also got like there's been some little tweaks to things that I think people complained about before. It's longer. There's little tiny things like, for instance, in combat, you now have a prompt to when to block. With the old game, you didn't have a prompt. So it's like a lot of people were missing those blocks, but now you have like a prompt so you know exactly when to do it. And when you're exploring the overworld, you have like a little bubble that pops up over every item so you can make sure you're not missing any items that you could possibly pick up or smash or whatever. So, yeah, I mean,
pretty
I'm
cool.
thrilled. I'm thrilled, but I'm totally taking like the wind out of Topher's sails right now.
No, that's okay.
No, you're not.
That was the same wind that I was going to blow. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ask you, Colette, before
No,
Topher.
it's
I just remember you like loved the first one so much, and I was like, the first person I thought of was like, oh my god, I bet Colette was so excited about this.
Oh, I was and am. Like, I got home because I was out of town and I didn't realize it was out. And then Conrad was like, Penny Arcade. And I was like, ah! So,
Oh, please tell me you really made that sound.
yeah, actually, I did because I really love these games. Wait, I have to say one thing, which I'm sure Topher also likes. I don't think this was in the first one. I know that they had like every time you go into a fight, they like write something across the screen like terror or oh my god, and they're funny or whatever. But in this game, there's one that says oh fuck.
Wait, what?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like you
That's
go
so
into a
cool.
fight and like like
funny.
1920s like movie style, it writes "oh fuck" with an exclamation mark before you start the fight. It is so funny, and I was just like babbling to Nero about how great I thought it was earlier today. Anyway,
That is
okay, I'm gonna stop
hilarious.
babbling now. Sorry.
I love you, Colette.
Uh,
well, I am equally as excited.
I'm
about
assuming
it,
you like
and
it just as much.
Yes, you should be too. So you should go download it. What you should not download is "Are You Smarter Than a 5-Year-Old?" I mean, a fifth grader.
Fifth grader.
Whatever. Are you smarter than Jeff Foxworthy in a? Is this based on a? I don't watch television, so is this?
Yeah, it's a game
Yeah,
show
it's
on
based
TV.
on
It's
that
it's a real
reality
thing?
show
Okay.
or game show.
I
Well,
would like you
it's-
guys to know that my parents, for Christmas, for a stocking stuffer, they gave me the "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader" like desk calendar. And every day there's like, it's one of those ones where you peel it off, so it's like there's a different thing every day, and like there's a different question every day. And no joke, sometimes I'm not smarter than a fifth grader.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Poor
but
Chad, it's
smart,
okay.
Smart isn't evaluated by. Do you remember shit from?
Yeah, that's true.
25 years ago. It's not like I don't know. Whatever. But it has Jeff Foxworthy.
Is it his voice? Is he like in it? Like his?
Yeah, like he's in it.
It's kind of.
It's got a weird, blocky Jeff Foxworthy and some scary, monstrous-looking children that sit behind some desks and can help
How
you.
much is it?
Probably 800 points. I'm not even gonna
No,
look,
it's
but
actually
I'm just gonna
1,200
say.
points.
It's
This
Are you
1,200
kidding
points,
me?
actually.
Yeah, that's like the big. I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, that's like the biggest ripoff ever.
1,200 points?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, I know, Topher. I probably cut your
fuck
You
this
probably
game,
didn't realize
and
that.
Jeff Foxworthy should be ashamed of himself.
Well, of course he's not ashamed of himself. He's making a ton of money because he's telling everybody that he's smarter than a fifth grader.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That show is like one of the highest rated shows on TV, so he's making bank, so he's probably not caring that we're dissing his game right now. He's like rolling around in his cash while he's listening to this podcast.
Like
Yeah.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, like Scrooge McDuck, but like a redneck version.
Well, I'm smarter than a fifth grader because I know better than to pay for this fucking game. So, prove that you too are smarter than a fifth grader by not buying this stupid game
And downloading Penny Arcade.
and downloading Penny Arcade instead.
Yay! Yay! Oh fuck!
That's really funny.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of it next time it happens and like post it somewhere so you can see it because it cracks me up every time.
Yeah, that's pretty much the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I wish I had that much enthusiasm about the WiiWare releases this week.
I
Oh.
know.
I don't. I'm not gonna lie, but should I talk about them?
Well, before you talk about him, let's get Topher's Slurpee rating.
Okay, good.
Well, no, but think about it. It kind of balances out because one's really good and one's really bad, so it can't be that terrible. Eh.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Fuck it.
So what does it get?
It gets a large Slurpee just for Penny Arcade,
Yeah, good one.
and then
Good one.
I don't know. Jeff Foxworthy likes hound dogs and children. I don't know. Whatever.
That was
wow.
amazing.
That was amazing. All right, Colette, you can get with what you're doing. Get with your thing,
Get with
Get with
what
your
you're
thing.
doing.
girl.
Do your thing, girl.
Hey guys.
Oh, here we
this
go.
Oh, here we go again.
This week we have art style Roto Hex for the WiiWare system.
Beware system.
It's a puzzle game where triangles fall from the top of the screen and you rotate them to group 6 panels of the same color. You make
Sounds
hexes. It costs 600 points and it's not Tetris.
Best review.
Okay, download that if you're bored. Moving on. Strong Bad Episode 3 also came out, which I have to say, I am jealous because while I'm not as much of a Strong Bad fan as I am of Penny Arcade, I'm a huge Penny Arcade fan and like just kind of sort of a Strong Bad fan. But those Strong Bad episodes have been like flying out. Like this is episode 3 and
Yeah,
I
isn't
feel
that
like
crazy?
and I mean I don't know if I haven't completed them, so I don't know if they're longer, but like I feel like I waited a long time for Penny Arcade Adventures episode 2.
No, I agree with you.
Probably because I was ready to play it the moment I finished 1, so that's probably what it is. But actually, and also cool for people who are fans of Strong Bad is that it's way cheaper than following Penny Arcade. It's 1,000 Wii points versus the much more expensive price for Penny Arcade, and it's cool. It's one of the cooler things that's going to come out on WiiWare, honestly. And if you're into the downloadable content, I would definitely recommend it. This is basically like it's called Baddest of the Bands, and it's like basically like a battle royale of the bands where Strong Bad has to like rule the stage and try to win the big prize by competing with these bands. So it's basically like total humor.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I would say based on RoboHex is not horrible. It's just kind of like I refuse to review puzzle games anymore. Like I've had it. I'm
Unless
so
There's
done.
more puzzle games on WiiWare than there are shmups on Virtual Console.
Seriously, it's out of control. And I mean, I would rather be drowned in shmups than drowned in under-inspired games, under-inspired puzzle games, or okay puzzle
Some of them
games.
are
It's
pillow
like,
games. They put you right to fucking sleep.
yeah, that's so true. But yeah, I would say that I don't know. I would give it a 3 Chocobo week based on 3 because of Strong Bad. It would have been more if there had been a better game than RotoHex. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
just not great.
It's just blah.
Yes, exactly.
Which honestly is the worst. Like it's either going to be really bad that it's fun to play because it's so bad, or really good. Like when those blog games are the worst.
No, I totally agree. Because it's like,
Mhm.
you could waste your money, and if it's just the same thing as like standing in line at the grocery and you're like looking at all that shit that they put like right in front of the checkout that you could possibly buy, but it's all kind of
Yeah.
crap. It's like the exact same thing, you know? So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, that's
yeah.
okay. That's not bad though. So we have a pretty good
No.
week. I mean, the Strong Bad, good. Penny Arcade, great. Earthworm Jim, amazing, great. So that's like pretty good. Like if people are into downloadable stuff, this is a pretty solid week.
Yeah, I think it's not
Cool.
bad at all. Could be a
So
lot
great.
worse.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we're gonna move into Kevin's segment without being like horribly depressed. So that's good. So yeah, so let's get to asking this guy some questions because I'm so curious about this. So Kevin, thank you for being patient during our downloadable reviews.
Oh, no worries.
Wouldn't it be funny if like we were like, Kevin, thanks for being patient. We like realized he had left. Like I'm over this. He's like, I'm famous now. He's like, I'm too good for this.
I had to remember
Oh.
to talk because it's just like listening to the podcast. So
Except that
Oh,
you're
yeah, you're
actually
like-
here. Yeah.
like,
right,
"Hey,
exactly.
here."
You're actually.
Well, so tell people that listen, Nick, is it different being here than it is listening, or is it pretty much exactly the same thing?
No, it's awesome.
Good answer.
Yes.
Good answer.
Great answer.
So as we mentioned before, Kevin, I hope you don't mind me calling you Kevin and not by your Detoid name. I figured it'd be easier.
Yeah, Kevin's fine.
Okay, because some people like only want to use their Detoid name, and I was like, oops, I maybe should have asked you that. I felt like.
Can I call you Mortimer?
Mm,
Just to be
Why?
just to be difficult.
Mortimer J. Thelonious the Third.
Mortimer Phineas Deverdonder.
if I can call you
Aloysius.
Mr. Grumpy Pants, okay.
Oh, could you?
Topher would actually like that.
No, actually,
I think
kinda
Topher
hurts
would
my
like
feelings a little bit.
But Kevin is the guy, like I mentioned before, who made these incredible costumes. And I know we've seen some video game costumes in the past, and I know some people that may not have seen them yet might be thinking, well, I don't understand. Like, I've seen a lot of video game costumes. What's so special about them? Well, I will tell you what's so special about them. The pit costume for his youngest son, who's one, was unbelievably great unto itself. But I think the thing that kind of made you a star in Destructoid would be your Mega Man costume, which is for your other son, who's 3. And it's big. I mean, I'm letting you get into this, but don't worry, I'm not gonna steal your spotlight. But basically, it's just like a really well-made Mega Man costume. But I'll let Kevin tell you more about it, I guess. So yeah, just kind of, I guess if you don't mind, Kevin, just kind of start maybe on like what they are exactly and maybe how you made them, because that's what I'm the most curious about.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to give a little background, so I wanted to make 3 costumes, one for me and one for each of my sons, and have them kind of work together. And I had thought about it, and this is my first time building a costume, so I wanted to do like a Bowser, Mario, Koopa, but I
Wow.
wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't down for
Oh.
building those. So
That could always be a goal of the future.
Yeah, that
that's
could be next
exactly what
year.
that is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So
Awesome.
we'll see if I get to it next year. But so
That'd be
I had a little contest on the C blogs, and Mr. Wilson came up with the idea of doing Captain N, and I don't know if you guys remember that
Yes.
bad
Yeah,
cartoon.
of
Yes.
course we do.
I do.
Absolutely.
Sure do.
So I really like that idea, and I could do Mega Man and Pit, obviously, and I could do Captain N, and I wouldn't look like a total dork.
Okay. We're all dorks.
Well, okay, a little bit of a dork, but I should, not something I shouldn't be wearing as an adult.
Yeah, totally.
Like that other Mega Man costume, that guy that goes around to the anime conventions.
Oh my God, he's like famous on our site just for how many times we've used him in a post pic.
I see that guy at Otakon every year.
I met with Mike. He's
Let's
very
just hope
special.
that's not Kevin's son when he gets older.
Oh my.
So, anyways, from there, I got all excited about doing the Mega Man, and Mr. Wilson had put in some ideas of how to build it and whatnot, but I got all OCD and wanted to add lights and all kinds of cool stuff to it. So, for the Mega Man, well, let's do the other one. The Captain N was easy. I just went out and found a Letterman jacket and put a letter on it, and I got the NES gun strapped to my hip, and
Mhm.
I got one of those big NES buckles.
So cool.
It's so awesome.
That's amazing.
And then the pit one was pretty easy. It's just an oversized shirt with a belt for my son and some wings, which he's deathly afraid of the wings now. So it's gonna be.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I don't know why he got scared. 1-year-old can do that.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has only one. I mean, it's kind of like.
What are these huge wings
I
on
thought
my
there
back?
was a reason. I thought they fell on him.
No, I didn't try stapling them to his back or anything like that.
Oh, no.
Oh God.
That'd be horrendous.
So the Mega Man, I don't know. I just started. I had the idea of getting stuff and then wrapping it in fabric instead of spray painting it because it could hide a lot of details, like of the construction process. So I went out to my friendly Goodwills since Dyson raves about his Goodwill so much.
Nice.
He has like a special Goodwill. No other Goodwill on the earth.
Yeah, he has
He has
some
like 5
super
different ones. I've gone through all of them.
Goodwill blessed by God with like
I
the
went-
sun shining on it from.
I went
my
to
God.
5 different, 5 or probably more than that if you include other things that weren't Goodwill stores, and I found like one game I wanted to buy, and that was it. But anyways, I was able to get most of the components for the costumes. So anyways, I had the idea of using a bike helmet for the helmet, and then I just found something laying around that, like I used a frisbee to complete the bike helmet, and then added some LEDs for the ears and some foam pieces, and I wrapped everything in fabric that I found at Goodwill. So, and then the Mega Buster is just Tupperware with LEDs wired into it and wrapped in fabric.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
so it really, I mean, it was $70, but to do the whole thing,
That's not bad.
but yeah, which I
That
don't
is
think is that
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
On the Popular Mechanics article that just got posted not too long ago, they did 3 costumes, right? And the first costume, I was the last one. The first one was someone that made a full armor Iron Man suit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow, holy lord.
It's really
for
amazing.
for $20,000.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
$20,000.
I mean, he's getting work from it, but still, $20,000.
I know.
So
That's a lot.
I felt pretty good about my $70 Mega Man costume.
You should.
Kevin Craine
You
built this
should.
in a basement with a box of Tupperware.
That's not bad
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, $20,000 is a little ridiculous.
Yeah. I think that's a little too much.
So,
well,
that was about it.
actually, just to really quick, just in case people don't know. I mean, I know I mentioned this, but you got approached by Popular Mechanics and by EGM from Destructoid from the blogs, right? Like, I mean, is that how you got noticed, or just did they get you?
Yeah.
Away?
Yeah, when I was posting all the build stuff before I posted the final article that actually showed what he looked like in the costume, I think the first one to pick it up was actually Capcom. Picked up one of the Mega Buster, and they put it on their site, and from there it just kind of took off.
That's so cool.
A couple, I don't know, news aggregators got it, and so I got a couple PM messages through to Destructoid for Popular Mechanics and EGM.
Wow.
That's so amazing. And for people that haven't seen it, I mean, I really can't stress enough. You have to go on Destructoid and either look up Cranium's name in the search field and look for his blog, or we also did it on the front page too. But you really have to find this. You have to see it to understand like how amazing this is. It's like the most perfectly constructed, cutest thing, and seeing it on his son like takes it to the next level. It is too cute for words.
It is.
Yeah, they're awesome. I can't talk enough about them, so I'll try not to.
Don't worry, you're not going to bore us.
It's all good.
Actually, really quick, speaking of your son, I heard that he's actually there with you right now.
Yeah, do you want to talk to him?
I would love that. I'm really excited about this, you guys. We have an exclusive special guest to the RetroforceGO this week. Not just Kevin, Cranium Kevin, but we have an even, no offense, Kevin, but we have someone even more special than you.
I understand. It's all about the kids.
Yeah. The kid that's actually wearing the Mega Man costume tomorrow night for Halloween, or actually tonight, since you'll be listening to it, is here. It's Kevin's son, and he's the cutest kid ever. So he's here on the podcast, so he wants to say hi to us.
Hi.
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 How are you?
I need to toy.
Oh. How old are you?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Wow. What are you dressing up for trick or treat?
Mega Man.
Wow, Mega Man. Now, this is the most important question. What does Mega Man make?
What sounds does he make?
Pew pew pew.
Oh my god.
That's the best answer ever.
Oh. Wow. Are you excited about trick or treating?
Yeah.
Oh. Can you say the name one more time of the robot?
My toy.
Oh man, I wish you could say that every night before I went to bed.
I seriously want to make it my ringtone.
I would make that
That'd
my
be
ringtone,
best
my alarm, my microwave beep. I would make that everything if I could.
That'd be the
Well,
cutest thing ever.
I'm really jealous that you're going as Mega Man. That's a really cool costume.
Yeah, I don't think Chad, your costume is not as cool as Mega Man. No offense.
No, not at all. Do you realize? I don't know if you'll get this, but do you realize that you're famous? Everyone knows who you are now because of your Mega Man costume.
You know that you're famous, Chayton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no big deal.
So modest.
It's a burden, it's hard.
Well,
life of
I just
Mega
want.
And the big race car broken.
Wait, what? Did something
The
break?
big race car is broken.
Yeah, and the one wheel just came off.
Oh my God, this is the best podcast we've ever done.
And the one wheel did came off.
Yeah,
Why did the one wheel came off?
I don't know. Random quotes by a 3-year-old.
Is that your control?
Yeah.
Ask him if he wants to host the podcast from now on.
Do you want to host? Do you want to host the Mr. Destructoid podcast?
Yeah.
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 Alright, I'm out of a
Can we
job.
get him to give us an and welcome?
Oh, can
Yeah,
you
can
do
we do that?
and welcome?
I want them.
No.
Oh, well, that's okay. Maybe he's not ready for being a host. He needs some
Stick
training.
it on there.
Not right now.
It's a
Well,
big responsibility to say the end welcome.
yeah,
It
it's
is.
a big deal. It's like
It's
it
a big-
is a big deal. It's very stressful. Oh my gosh. Well,
Poor Chad.
thank you so much for doing our podcast, and I'm really excited for you to go trick or treating as Mega Man.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, have fun, and thank you again, and happy Halloween.
Thank you.
Say
You're welcome.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
And off he
All right.
goes to edit the show.
Oh my God. I can't even handle this. Like, I'm literally like
Oh,
cute
that's
explosion
too
right now. I'm having like
cute.
convulsions.
Joy explosions.
Wow.
Kevin, you must be used to this kind of thing, like now that you get to do it every day.
Yeah, it's good times. I can't complain about too much.
Oh.
That's awesome.
And how old's your other son?
He's 1.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That makes me want to have a baby like right now.
Go ahead, Chad.
Colette?
I almost spit out my water just because he said that.
Chad, you want to stop the show so you can have a baby real quick, and then we'll just.
I'll just run outside and grab whatever girl walks by.
Woman, come here. I need to put a baby in you.
Oh no, I hope he's off the podcast. We're gonna corrupt.
He is.
Okay, guys.
And you were talking about coming and kidnapping him, so
I did. I said that, and then after I said that, I felt that sounded really cool. Well, on that, he made a post of his son in the, I think it was your son in the Mega Man costume again.
Yeah, it was a video I made.
Yeah, it was a video, and I posted on his comments. I said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna come kidnap him right now." And then I was like, and then I wrote another comment saying, "Oh wait, that sounded bad. I just want to show him to people and pretend that he's mine." And then I was like, "Oh wait, that sounds even worse." So Kevin, tell us about how EGM got you, because I've been reading EGM like my whole life, and like in a way, this is kind of like the biggest thing for me that you got on there, and I'm really curious about the whole process.
Yeah. I mean, the guy just sent me a private message on my Destructoid account, and then from there we just started emailing back and forth, and he just, asked if it was okay if I wanted to be in the magazine. I was like, yeah, duh.
Of course, silly.
Of course. And so he sent in for Popular Mechanics. They actually did a phone interview. For this one, he sent me email questions, which was probably a ton better because I actually had time to think about some of the answers. The best. I was trying to give in both of the articles. I was trying to give shout outs to Destructoid and stuff. So one of the questions he asked, I hope to God this makes it in the magazine. It's kind of vulgar, so I don't know if it's going to or not.
Well, they're getting a little raunchy recently, so they might put it in there.
I hope so, because it was awesome. So the question was, so you've made a cool costume for both your sons and yourself. What about your wife? Does she not like princesses or peaches? And my response was, my wife is awesome. She has graciously helped me build these one-of-a-kind costumes, but the geek factor is just too high for her to join us as Princess Lana. And then I said, that and Princess Peach is a cock-teasing bitch.
Awesome.
Oh my God, Anthony's gonna flip out if that makes it in there. Even though I'm a little angry about that answer, but I feel that.
Whatever.
But it's true.
Yeah, okay, Topher, we need to have a whole show. We need to have like a debate. Maybe we should do that for the election week. We should have a debate about Princess Peach and Daisy.
That's this week.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we won't get into that right now because I'll get angry. But that's an amazing answer. That's an amazing answer, Kevin.
So I'll leave most of the the questions were all kind of silly, so he just said had fun with it. So most of the answers are like that, where they're just really playful. So that one I was like, yeah, I got to give a shout out here.
Did they get back to you yet, or did you just send them the answers and they haven't said anything?
I sent him the answers, and he said the answers sound awesome, and he didn't say anything about it. So
that's crazy.
I'm hoping it just goes right through.
So great.
Do you have to send a picture or something? Like, how did that work? I'm assuming they're gonna have a picture of it.
Yeah, I sent in some pictures for him to choose from, just of
that's kinda cool.
the costumes and whatnot. And if anybody's interested, he said it's going to be the January issue, which is odd to me, but print I guess is much slower, and it's supposed to be out the middle of December sometime.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think that comes out in like the first week of December.
Yeah.
Because I still have my subscription. I've had that thing for so long. So I will definitely get it, and I'll cheer for you, and I'll be so excited. I'll be like, I know that guy!
So awesome.
I'm just going to be so embarrassed if that question gets in there that I have to show it to my mom and dad.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, I think about that, and then I'm like, well, if they ever listen to this podcast, they'd probably disown me. So sometimes you just have to hope for the best. That's so cool. Like, did your wife put your son to bed?
Yeah, he's off to bed now. So I'm naked now.
Oh.
Yes! Just like Topher!
Now you're officially part of the podcast. I bet your wife heard that in the background. She's like, huh? She's like, what the hell are you recording? That's so awesome, though. Like, well, I mean, you said you have plans maybe for Mario, Bowser, and Koopa next year, but do you have any other ideas of, like, costumes?
I mean, I could expand on the Mega Man thing, because I could do Dr. Light, and I have 2 dogs, so I could do Rush.
Oh,
that would be so awesome.
oh my God! If you dressed your dog up as Rush, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I would totally lose my shit if I saw that.
So
Oh,
that might be next year. I might wait one more year after that, only because then my youngest son will be old enough to wear the current Mega Man costume.
Oh wow.
oh yeah, that's true. You could totally keep it and put it on him. That's such a great idea.
Yeah.
This is so awesome. Now, I have to ask, do they play games with you now?
Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, not the 1-year-old, but Jayden, my 3-year-old, does. He's quite the addict of games already. So.
Yay!
That's awesome.
I always wonder, like, can you make a gamer? Like, or are they just gamers or they're not? And
That's a good question.
Well, I've been thinking about that, like if you grow up in a household of games and nerdery, are you just destined for it? I hope so.
Yeah, my son's screwed.
Yes. No, he's not. He's gifted.
He is gifted.
Gifted. I like that word.
It's true. It's true. I think it's a great gift to give to a child, in my opinion.
That is interesting because, like, I feel like all of us, like, we probably, I mean, I don't think I could have played more video games when I was younger. Like, that's how much I played. But my parents never even touched video games, so it's interesting to see, like, how much is he going to play living with a dad who's, like, just as addicted to video games as we are. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, that's what I asked you guys last week, if you had any gamer parents. That's why I.
Yeah.
Oh, it was you. Okay.
Yeah.
That was you.
It was you.
Actually, we might as well do this now since we're talking about it. There's a couple questions actually for you. You're so popular, Kevin.
Bizarre.
I have him right here. Here's one. He says, it's from QPA, and he says, what do your adult friends think of you being a gamer dad? He says, I'm only 25, and none of my friends are into video games anymore. Which, first of all, you have to find new friends. Like, drop off.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
You were headed down the wrong path, young man.
Yeah, you really are headed down the wrong path, but that's besides the point. But I thought that was a really good question. So, what do your adult friends think of you being a gamer dad?
Yeah, most of them are gamers themselves. So, actually, I have a few people on Detoid, and one of the Digtastic was. It's not Digitastic, by the way. It's Digtastic.
Well, he could join the Facebook group.
Exactly. But he was the one that originally got me hooked on the show, actually. So that's how I got into Destructoid and everything. But yeah, I have lots of gamer friends, and that guy must not have the right friends. So go find some new ones.
Yeah, exactly. Good answer.
Yeah, it's a great answer.
KMCC has actually two questions for you. He says, how did you introduce your child to games for the first time? I played my very first game when my dad held me up to a Ms. Pac-Man machine, sorry, and I haven't looked back since. So that's a good question. What was the very first thing you introduced him to?
So, I mean, I've been gaming since he was, basically born. I was probably playing the DS at some point that night.
Were you playing games when he was born and not there with your wife?
No.
You're playing games while she was delivering?
No.
Hang on, honey. I'll hold your hand. Just one more save.
Yeah, wait. Let go of my hand. Let go of my hand.
I gotta get to a safe spot.
Wow.
Oh, hardcore.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. So, we got the Wii when it first came out, and, we're playing, tennis and bowling like everyone else was when it was all novel and stuff.
Yeah.
So he got to watch us do that. And then what really hooked him was Mario Kart, I think, when he first saw Mario.
Oh.
So it's those cute, Nintendo characters, Kirby, Mario, anything like that, man. He's hooked. So, he would sit with me, and I would try to steer the steering wheel with him and stuff like that. So after that, it was when I kind of started listening to you guys and going to Destructoid. So I got a real bad case of the nostalgia, and went out and picked up NES and SNES and yada yada yada. But I picked up some games for him, like Sesame Street games that he absolutely loves.
Awesome.
And then so I'm starting to get more good stuff now, like Kirby and whatnot. So he's starting to play those. He's not quite there. By the next year he'll be kicking my ass, I'm sure.
That makes me really happy. And what you said about the Wii, I mean, in Mario Kart, even though like we maybe have our problems with the Wii or whatever, but it's kind of nice to know that because we all remember Nintendo as our first systems, basically. We remember Mario, we remember all these early games as being like our first introduction to the world of video games. And it's kind of neat to think that even in this generation, your son is like his first memories are going to be of Mario Kart and Mario and the Nintendo system. So in a way, it's kind of neat to see that it's kind of come full circle. So that makes me.
Circle of life.
Yes, another Disney episode.
Oh my God! Don't even get
Oh
me
my God,
started.
it's happening.
Oh, it's gonna happen again.
We have to
man.
get back to the. Okay, focus.
Focus.
Well, the other part was said KMCC says, I'm 28 and my wife and I are most likely going to have kids in about a year. And actually, this is what I'm actually really curious about. And I was going to ask you the same question. So how did having kids affect your game life? Like, I don't know if this is what he was asking, but I'm just gonna make it more specific and just time wise. Like, do you actually even get to play video games like on your own, or is it really hard to find time?
After the kids go down, it's fairly easy. But that again takes away from time with the wife, so there's a balance there.
Is she a gamer at all, or no?
Not really. I've gotten her to play some things, but it's she's not a gamer. She didn't grow up with any kind of video games whatsoever. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's all a matter of, how much you want to put into it, So with my oldest, I can definitely sit down and play games with him, and he's pretty into it. And, I just watch what I'm playing when I'm playing with him. But yeah, I play quite a bit. At least, I have off weeks and whatnot, but I'll play at least, almost every night. Depends on the night.
That's great. That's so neat to know that you can even have two kids, especially as young as they are, and still find time to play video games. That gives me hope for the future.
Me too.
I'm a pretty selfish guy. At least I was before I had kids. So I was really worried about having kids, and am I ready? Am I ready to have kids? So, and I was really worried up until he was born, and once I saw him, all that kind of selfishness and stuff, it's still there, but a lot of it melted away, and being a dad is completely awesome, and if you're even remotely thinking about it, I would suggest it. It's so rewarding.
So cool.
I want to have a baby right now. Colette, Stella, come on.
Pause the show. Chad and I are gonna have sex.
It's gonna be the highest rated show ever.
And I'm glad you live in LA and you can't kidnap mine.
I know, I'm so far away. Well, now I know. Now that I know what they're dressed up for Halloween, I'll be able to find them. Oh my God, that was creepy.
Sounds bad.
What's wrong with you?
All right, I gotta stop now. I'm gonna get myself in prison. Well, on that note, that was a great first half. Thank you again, Kevin, and please stay around for the second part because we can't wait to talk to you about Kirby.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, all right, we will be back in a second. Break.
The circle of life.
It will move us all.
Damn, Colette.
RetroforceGO.
Hello, everybody. New Gamer Dictionary and all that. Last week's prompt was, what do you call it when a story like, let's say, Far Cry, starts out really, really normal and somewhat naturalistic. In terms of Far Cry, you were just on an island and shooting people, which is about as normal as video games get. And about halfway or whatever through, it turns into this big, wacky, weird, conspiracy, insane, goofy thing and gets away from what it started with. In Far Cry, it's aliens show up out of nowhere, or monsters, or whatever they are. In Max Payne, a simple revenge story turns into destroying a big evil corporation that makes drugs. And it's just me. I got a lot of replies to this. So Jesus H. Christ called it forcing disbelief, which I thought was pretty clever. A surprising amount of you, three, maybe that's not that surprising, but that's like 30% of the emails I got, likened it to, referenced Indigo Prophecy, the game by David Cage, also known as Fahrenheit in Europe. Colorado Gamer X, ex-Colorado Gamer X, called it the Indigo Effect. Jorge Inzulza called it Indigo Prophecy Syndrome. John just called it the Indigo Prophecy. No, sorry, that's 4. And Funky Goodness called it the David Cage experience. David Cage is the lead designer. If you don't know what the deal with Indigo Prophecy is, that game pretty much epitomizes what happens with a game when it has a really, really incredible, very intimate, small-scale story at the beginning and then gets really, really uncomfortable with itself and then gets huge at the end for no reason to very, very poor effect. Anthony Perry called it extraneous extrapolation, just kind of to be pretentious. And then I really like his term here, intimate insecurity / the Hollywood effect. The idea that the designers are just kind of scared of what will happen if they keep the story small and intimate, and maybe gamers will think it's not epic enough, so they just go Hollywood and they go all the fuck out, and it ends up we don't like it anyway most of the time. Nobody complained at the end of GTA 4 that you should have fought on top of the Statue of Liberty just with swords or anything like that, because the story managed to stay intimate relatively. Although that may have been more fun. I don't know. Anyway, Will Mitchell calls it the decaying corpse because, and these are his words, the deeper you get into the plot, the worse it smells. Ben Haskett calls it. Well, actually, Ben Haskett sent me the shortest email I got all week, which was, you call it Phoenix Wright. And that was it. Didn't sign it, didn't give me a name to call him by, just that. Submit has a whole phrase for it, a whole sentence called, I knew the story should have turned left at Albuquerque. And if you don't get that reference, then I'm very, very sorry and sad for you. Major Mustard called it Schwarzenegger syndrome, as in you have to become Arnold Schwarzenegger by the end of the game because there's so many stupid, douchey, alien conspiracy theory things coming at you. Or perhaps OAW syndrome, OAW standing for overambitious writers. Now, before I get to the next theme for this week, make sure that when you send me an email at anthony@destructoid.com, send it to there, that A, you put New Gamer Dictionary in the subject heading, and B, after your description of whatever your phrase or your word is, put a name that I can respond to you by, because I assume most of you don't want to go by your real email names or whatever, so just put a handle or something like that, unless you're cool with your regular name. Anyway, this week's cliche movement idea is, it happens, I'm having a hard time coming up with games that don't do this in terms of just random generic games. I mean, a lot of great games don't, but most middle of the road, this kind of okay games just do this because they get scared, I think, and don't know what the hell to do. You fight a boss, you fight the end boss, and he's a relatively normal dude. He may be an alien or whatever, but he's just a dude. It's no big deal, he's just a dude. And after you fight him in an unusually easy end boss fight, you think, well, that's kind of disappointing. I just got to the end of the game. His body starts convulsing, and angrily, with fire in his eyes, he looks at you and goes, "Oh, now you face my true form." And then tentacles start spurting out of him, and then fire goes everywhere, and he turns into this stupid-looking alien gorilla monster version of himself, and you fight that in a really overblown fight. It happens with Andros at the end of Star Fox 64. It happens with the bad guy at the end of Resident Evil 4. It happens with goddamn near every boss ever. So what do you call that goofy ass reluctance to just keep the boss as he is? It's got to be his secret form that you've been looking at the entire game. What do you call that? Again, email it to anthony@destructoid.com. Put your name, put New Gamer Dictionary in the subject heading, and I'll be back next week with some of the more interesting dictionary terms. Bye.
The Necrowombicon, a vulgar manual of incomprehensible power. Only a fool would attempt to possess it. But then, fools are always in great supply. Episode 2? More like Awesome Sode 2.
Pew, pew, pew.